An intricate world of coin collecting where ordinary-looking coins often hold extraordinary secrets, one coin quietly stands apart. It's not a gold coin enshrined in a museum, nor is it a rare relic of a bygone century. It's a coin so common in appearance that it passes through countless hands unnoticed, lost in pockets, spent on snacks, and clinking inside forgotten change jars across America. Yet within the metallic sheen of this modest dime lies a story worth telling, a journey of design, production, and fate that culminates in one specific coin, minted in 1996 in Philadelphia, that would one day be valued not at 10 cents, but at a staggering $124,000. This is not merely a story about a dime, it is a story about history, precision, and the thin line between the ordinary and the extraordinary. The year 1996 wasn't unlike many others in recent memory. America was preparing to cross the threshold into a new millennium. The economy was booming, the internet was growing at a blistering pace, and the world was changing in ways most couldn't predict. The dot-com bubble was inflating, the digital age was beginning to unfold, and while the media obsessed over the impending Y2K problem, daily life went on with its rhythm of habits, routines, and small moments. In pockets, purses, and registers all across the country, dimes clinked and slid between fingers. They were spent on newspaper machines, parking meters, and vending machines. Nobody thought twice about a dime, why would they? And yet, in 1996, at the Philadelphia Mint, something remarkable happened. The dime had long been a fixture of American currency. First authorized by the Coinage Act of 1792, it represented 1/10 of a dollar and became an essential part of daily commerce. But in 1946, a new design was introduced, one that would become iconic. This was the Roosevelt dime, created to honor the recently deceased President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a leader who had guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. The design, crafted by John R. Sinek, featured Roosevelt's profile on the obverse, symbolizing not just his leadership but his personal battle with polio, which he fought through with unyielding strength. The reverse carried a torch flanked by olive and oak branches, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Fast forward to 1996. By now, the Roosevelt dime had been in circulation for exactly 50 years. It was a year of quiet anniversaries and subtle reflections. The Philadelphia Mint, one of the key facilities of the United States Mint, had continued to produce the dime with mechanical precision, striking millions upon millions for general circulation. Most of these were made with the standard clad composition, outer layers of copper-nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. It was not flashy. It was not rare. It was not gold nor silver. But it was essential. Billions of these coins had been minted since 1965, when silver was removed from circulating dimes. The 1996 P dime was one of many, yet hidden among its multitudes was something rare, something perfect, something destined to be legendary. Among collectors, certain dates and mint marks are immediately associated with rarity. The 1894 S. Barber dime, the 1916 D. Mercury dime, and the 1975 No S. Proof Roosevelt dime, all legendary in their own right. But what elevates a modern, clad dime like the 1996 P to such dizzying heights? The answer lies in a convergence of factors so precise, so unlikely, that it borders on miraculous. For a coin to reach an astronomical value, it must surpass expectations in condition, rarity, and desirability. The 1996 P dime that sold for $124,000 did all three and more. It began with a strike so flawless that numismatists took notice. The die pair used to mint this particular coin was fresh, crisp, and perfectly aligned. The pressure was ideal. The planchet was clean and unblemished. The resulting strike produced a Roosevelt profile so sharply detailed, so intricately defined, that even the finest strands of hair and subtle textures of the cheek were rendered in microscopic perfection. The reverse, too, was a masterpiece. The torch flames danced with texture, the olive and oak branches stood out with botanical clarity. Every rim was full and perfectly round. The coin had no marks, no scratches, no contact wear. It was what collectors call a full torch or a full bands example, a designation awarded to coins whose reverse torch details show complete horizontal separation in the bands. This detail is notoriously difficult to achieve on Roosevelt dimes, even in mint state condition. It requires a full, powerful strike and a perfect die. On modern clad dimes, such quality is exceedingly rare. But this 1996 P dime had it and more. It was later graded by a major third-party grading service, and the results stunned the numismatic world. It received a grade of MS 70.4. Context: coin grading ranges from 1 to 70, with MS mint state denoting an uncirculated coin. A coin graded MS 70 is flawless under 5x magnification. It is a theoretical ideal, the absolute peak of minting perfection. For a modern coin like a 1996 P dime to achieve MS 70 is so rare that many experts assumed such a coin couldn't exist. Yet here it was a real, certified, and radiating perfection. Collectors and dealers were in disbelief. Some speculated that it must have been preserved directly at the mint. Others theorized that it had come from a freshly opened mint roll that had been sealed and untouched for decades. However it came to be, it was an absolute gem, and collectors wanted it. When it was finally placed on the auction block, anticipation was high. Bidders from around the world watched with bated breath as the price climbed, first to thousands, then tens of thousands. And finally it sold. The hammer dropped at $124,000. In the wake of that sale, the numismatic world changed. Suddenly, the 1996 P dime was no longer just another common coin. It became a legend. Collectors began scrutinizing their change. Dealers revisited their inventory. Rolls of 1996 dimes, once ignored, became coveted. Everyone was hunting for another flawless gem. Yet none matched the original. Even today, no other example has been certified at that level. It remains, for now, a singular masterpiece. Beyond its rarity and condition, the coin's value was also driven by timing and sentiment. The 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime carried weight. The 1996 W. Roosevelt dime had been included in that year's uncirculated mint set as a special issue, bearing the West Point mint mark, a first for the series. That coin, though collectible, was intentionally struck for collectors. But the 1996 P dime was different. It was meant for circulation, never intended to be rare, and yet it surpassed every expectation. Stories like these captivate collectors and casual viewers alike because they illustrate a profound truth. That extraordinary value can be hidden in plain sight. That's something as common as a dime can carry with it a story, a secret, a rare and perfect moment frozen in metal. The thrill of discovery, the hope that a routine glance through pocket change might yield a treasure, is part of what makes coin collecting so enduring. It's a hobby, a passion, and sometimes a path to unexpected fortune. For the owner of the $124,000 1996 P dime, the journey from discovery to auction was transformative. What began as curiosity became revelation, and what was once a simple coin became a life-changing artifact. That one coin, struck in Philadelphia and forgotten for years, had outlived its generation of counterparts. While others were scratched, worn, and spent into oblivion, this coin had survived untouched, unmarred. It was destiny, luck, and perfect preservation all in one. In the years since, the 1996 P dime has become a symbol in the coin collecting community, not just of wealth, but of possibility. It is cited in forums, studied in videos, and remembered in price guides. It has inspired countless people to begin looking at their change a little more closely. And as every collector knows, that's all it takes: a single spark, a single story, a single dime. So the next time you're handed change at a store, or you reach into the depths of a coin jar, or crack open a mint roll with hopeful fingers, pause. Take a moment. Look closely. That little dime in your palm might be more than spare change. It might be history. It might be art. It might be worth more than you ever imagined. And just maybe, it might be worth $124,000. In the ordinary world of commerce, where change clinks unnoticed into pockets and cash drawers, a dime often passes without a second glance. It's small, it's silver in tone, and it's worth 10 cents, or so most people believe. But hidden among these unassuming little coins is one that defies expectations. Born in the final year of the 20th century, the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime was minted during a period of quiet transition, a time when analog met digital, when traditions met innovation. It was a year charged with anticipation and uncertainty. No one suspected that a few of the coins struck that year, bearing the P mint mark of Philadelphia, would one day be worth not a mere 10 cents, but as much as $110,000. The story of the 1999 P dime is not simply about numbers or metallic composition. It is about a moment in American history when something unexpectedly extraordinary emerged from the most ordinary of places, the United States Mint. To appreciate the journey of this coin is to delve into the complex layers of production, national sentiment, collector psychology, and the breathtaking rarity that transforms a simple object into a legend. In 1999, the United States stood at the edge of the millennium. Technology was reshaping lives, and the infamous Y2K bug stirred concern across industries. It was a time of both nostalgia and forward-looking ambition. The U.S. Mint had recently begun the 50-state quarters program, captivating the public and reigniting interest in coin collecting across the country. But amidst this buzz, the Roosevelt dime continued its quiet role. First introduced in 1946 to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the dime's design had remained largely unchanged for over half a century. Roosevelt's portrait, dignified and familiar, graced the obverse, while the reverse carried the iconic torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, emblems of liberty, peace, and strength. By the time 1999 rolled around, the Roosevelt dime was a workhorse of American currency. It saw constant use, rarely noticed, rarely studied. But beneath the surface of this utilitarian function lay a tale few would expect. In that year, millions of dimes were minted at both Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia Mint alone struck over 1 billion dimes. But within that enormous volume were anomalies, subtle differences, minuscule errors, and a few coins that defied the average. Among collectors and numismatists, rarity is not always about age. It's about scarcity, condition, and uniqueness. Sometimes a mistake or a variant escapes into the wild, unnoticed by inspectors, and becomes the stuff of legend. The 1999 P-Dime's journey into rarity followed this path. At first glance, it looks like any other Roosevelt dime. But to the trained eye, certain features distinguish it from the rest. In some specimens, the strike is sharper, the details crisper. In others, a rare error, such as an off-center strike, a double die, or a full band's designation catapults its value exponentially. The full band's feature, in particular, holds immense weight in the Roosevelt dime series. Located on the torch of the reverse design, these bands, horizontal lines near the top and bottom of the torch, are notoriously difficult to strike clearly. The machinery must apply just the right amount of pressure with a perfectly aligned die to bring them out in full detail. When visible and unbroken, these bands indicate a near-perfect strike and are highly prized among collectors. Most dimes, even those in uncirculated condition, lack full bands. That's what makes full bands so special, and in 1999, at the Philadelphia Mint, just a handful of dimes emerged with this elusive trait, but condition is only part of the story. Rarity is magnified when paired with pristine preservation. For a 1999 P-dime to reach a value of over $15,000, it must be in top-grade condition, typically MS67 or higher. That means the coin shows no signs of wear, no contact marks, no flaws visible under magnification. It must look as though it was struck that morning, pulled from the press, and sealed in time. These coins don't come from loose change. They come from unopened mint rolls, forgotten coin bags, or meticulous collectors who knew from the start they held something special. One such coin made headlines when it was submitted to a leading third-party grading service and received a jaw-dropping grade. The surface luster was flawless, the strike was razor-sharp, and yes, the torch bore complete, uninterrupted full bands. Under magnification, every feature glowed with clarity. The cheek of Roosevelt's profile was smooth and untouched. The hair strands were delicately sculpted. The fields, the flat areas of the coin, shimmered like a mirror. It was a dime, but not like any other. When this coin went to auction, the numismatic community watched closely. Bidding was fierce, driven by seasoned collectors who understood what they were witnessing. And when the gavel fell, the price landed between the unbelievable and the unimaginable. At the low-end, specimens of the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime with strong details and near-perfect preservation fetch $15,000. At the high end, examples with both the full band's designation and a flawless mint state 69 or even 70 can command up to $110,000. The very idea that a 10-cent piece minted within our lifetimes and still in circulation could be worth as much as a luxury car or a college education is stunning. This value is not just monetary. It's historical. It represents the beauty of minting precision, the unpredictability of circulation, and the passion of collectors who dedicate their lives to uncovering these hidden gems. It's a reminder that value is not always visible at a glance. It must be sought, studied, and sometimes stumbled upon with a bit of luck. Stories have surfaced of sharp-eyed individuals discovering high-grade 1999 P-dimes in change, in rolls, or in forgotten coin albums. Each of these discoveries adds to the lore of the coin. Some were saved unknowingly, tucked away as a novelty. Others were intentionally set aside, their owners noticing a difference in the shine or the strike. And still others sat for years before someone realized what they truly had. For numismatists, the appeal of the 1999 P dime goes beyond its market price. It symbolizes the possibility of treasure in the everyday. It proves that not all rarity lies in the distant past. It encourages examination, curiosity, and attention to detail. Because somewhere, right now, there may be another such coin waiting to be found in a drawer, in a jar, in a forgotten bankroll. The U.S. Mint has always strived for consistency, precision, and quality. But in any massive operation, perfection is fleeting. Tiny anomalies occur. Sometimes they result in errors, and sometimes, as in the case of the 1999 P dime, they result in perfection, a coin that exceeds its peers in every way and becomes legendary. The collectors who chase these coins often do so quietly, patiently, searching through hundreds or thousands of coins for that one perfect example. The process is tedious yet rewarding. And when they find it, that gleaming 1999 P dime with full bands and a perfect strike, it is like discovering buried treasure. Not just because of its value, but because of the story it tells. A coin like this bridges the gap between artistry and utility, between the everyday and the extraordinary. It tells a story of America's minting heritage, of Roosevelt's enduring legacy, of technological finesse and human oversight. It tells a story of hidden worth, lying dormant in plain sight. So the next time you see a dime, pause. Look closer. Flip it over. Examine the torch. Trace the ridges. Look for the P mark and check the year. If it says 1999, you just might be holding something special. Most likely, it's worth 10 cents. But if fate has smiled and fortune has favored you, that small coin could be worth far more. Maybe $15,000. Maybe $110,000. That's the wonder of coin collecting. That's the legacy of the 1999 P Roosevelt dime. Not just a piece of change, but a piece of history, one that reminds us that even in a world of mass production, true rarity still exists. Hidden. Waiting. Gleaming like silver in the palm of your hand.